I might keep this little piece on here. I don't know if y'all don't mind.
Yes. So
Oh, we cuss all the time. This don't matter. No, I'm joking. I'll take it out, but we might have it for some bloopers or something like that. But welcome everyone to Bread and Butter. Y'all know we get real in here, so we just had a breakthrough conversation or a icebreaker about the situation that happened with our sis. Y'all know this show is pre-recorded, so the day before we recorded this show was when our sis Micaiah. Look, I'm about to get her
Brian,
last name, Micaiah Bryant. Micaiah Bryant lost her life tragically, was murdered by a police officer on the same day that um, we got a little tinge of justice, which was really accountability. Um, not even 24 hours later, not even an hour.
it happened during the verdict reading.
Oh yeah. So there goes some American irony for you. And it's even more ironic because our show today is all about cooperative economics. It's all about Ujama. It's all about focused on our kids, though. We have Ladea Owens here from Summer Work. She's here to talk about the work that she's going to do with the youth in our community. We also have they sorority sisters, y'all. So we got our sisters in the building. Dewana Hatter, she is here representing herself and the work that she does with helping our youth getting coaching as far as SAT prep or whatever they need. She's also an amazing money strategist, is what I'm gonna call it, honey. She knows her dollars, and she's also a partner with Metro United Way. So it's family all within here, and we want to give agency and show our system love, and let her family know, Micaiah Bryant's family know that we are praying for her. So
Absolutely.
without further ado, I'll turn it over to Michaela, and she'll do our first round of questions.
Thanks, Christian. Um, so Ladea, um, you were actually on the show in January, I think it was, and you talked about Summer Works back then. For people who don't know, can you give us like a brief explanation of Summer Works and um, what y'all got going on in these
Absolutely.
months?
Absolutely. I love talking about Summer Works because I love getting our Black youth jobs. I love helping them to build wealth, to get out of poverty, to build wealth for themselves, and their families. So with Summer Works, we are a program that is dedicated to providing summer employment for youth ages 16 to 21. Those youth will be placed in either a sponsored employment opportunity or a private employer opportunity. Now, the private employers, they do interview and onboard their youth. However, if a youth chooses to do a sponsored employer position, me and my team will place them in positions through what is called our Kentuckiana Earns platform. It's a new platform that will be regional. We are piloting the platform for Kentuckiana Works, but employers that are sponsored through us have the applicants apply online, and we also help to match the applicants if the applicants are unsure on what jobs that they are qualified for. We are there to assist them fully and to engage them in job readiness curriculum that teaches them resume building. It teaches them workplace etiquette. We even have a section to address microaggressions that we partnered with the Louisville Sherm. So we're very excited about our partnership with them. So we are dedicated to providing employment opportunities for them to obtain the skills that they need to obtain competitive employment later in life. So we are very passionate about helping our youth.
And that is so important.
I love it. Yes.
Like I we've all been in the position, when you first enter the workforce and you have nothing and you don't know what you're supposed to do. How do you make a resume? So that's really dope that Summer Works is folk not just saying here's a job or, something like that, or,
Absolutely. We are
giving them
dedicated to the whole
tools.
person. When I was an HR manager, I used to always say, you cannot take the human out of human resources. So I address the whole person. Here at Summer Works, we address the whole person. If you are looking for a job, we're going to help you with that resume building. We're going to help you with dress for success, learning how to dress for an interview, learning how to act in an interview. What questions do you ask the employer? you know, we have the right to ask questions as well, because we're not just on the market for ourselves a job. We're looking to see if we're going to be a good fit for that employer. And we also want to learn, how do we handle workplace conflict? How do we handle a supervisor that may not be treating us right? What are the next steps? How do we resolve conflict with other peers before we take it to the supervisory level? So we teach them those skills to prepare them, and it's a foundation that is built upon throughout their life. And we want this our SummerWorks experience to be what pilots their future. And we have many employers that teach entrepreneurship. I'm very excited. We just added a employer called Spirit Beats. They was with us last year. They teach African drumming and also entrepreneurship. So you will be not only taught about African drums, but you would be taught, how do you create an African drum? What is a shakerite? How do you use a shakerite? So we're very excited about that. I'm all about cultural responsive pedagogy, where we teach the youth not only how to build wealth, but to advocate for themselves. And we use it using our cultural values. So I'm very excited that we have them this year. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to go to summerworks.org to register. You're more than welcome to reach out to me. My email address is Ladaya, Ladaya, period Owens, Owens, at summerworks.org. And I'm here to assist you.
Yo, that
Wait
is
1 minute, because we're actually planning a Juneteenth fest, and
Wow.
the drumming,
Let's
and
make
I'll
it
tell,
happen. Let's make
yes,
it happen. That when I
Michaela,
tell you I am so impressed,
okay.
I know the entrepreneur that is over it, her name is Joan Brannon, and she's phenomenal. She not only teaches music through African drumming, but she also has done documentaries. She was just showcased on PBS just this past winter. So she is a
yes.
phenomenal artist, director. She has it all. But what I value in the Spirit Beats sponsorship is that they teach you how to create your own music using the African drums. So they have been practicing we already have a few that are enrolled right now. They have been practicing. And I tell you, when I left work last week, I left work like literally dancing to my car, because they was outside. It was a beautiful day. They was in our courtyard and they were just drumming away. And I was like, whoa, this speaking to my soul right now. So just imagine if we have 20 youth that are drumming away, and just the beautiful music and the culture and the experience. So I'm totally looking forward to this, and we will get you connected, because we want them to participate in that for sure.
Okay. Wow, that was a lot. I love it. I love the energy here. So SummerWorks, I don't know. I want to do as an individual, right? And as a community member of Play Cousins, I want to do whatever I can to support SummerWorks. What's the best way that the community can support SummerWorks? And specifically, if an individual just liked what you guys did, what can they do to help?
I love that question, because it teaches us ownership. If we're going to be the change, then let us be the change, right? So with our youth, please direct youth ages 16 to 21 to our SummerWorks site. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to us. I have a team of 5, so I'm one of 5, and we work literally as a team. And we're here to assist. We're here to develop. We're here to coach. We're here to train. We're here to answer questions. We have a youth advocate that is our youth services coordinator, and she is willing to answer any and every question. I know for me, I can totally sit down with the youth and go over the process with them. We can work on your resume. We can work on how do you dress for an interview. We're here to help with the whole process. So the best way that our community can help us is directing the youth to us, allowing them to know that there is no dumb question. I know a lot of youth are afraid to ask about SummerWorks because they feel like they are underqualified. This isn't about being underqualified. This is about developing. So we are open to first time job seekers. We're open to jobs, seasoned job seekers. We're here about the experience of building you so that you can create wealth for your family. We want the black dollar, the minority dollar, we want our dollar to stay in our community longer. And don't get me wrong, we service all ethnic groups, we service all races, but we focus a lot on our vulnerable populations where there are poverty circumstances, and we also focus on our refugees and immigrants because we want them to be successful. So the best way that you can help us is just get the word out. Please take a sign, advocate on your jobs, advocate on your Facebook, on your social medias, because believe me, we'll take them. We will not turn away a child. The only way we would turn away a child is if they don't fit within our age bracket. And even then, if they are over 21, we're still going to direct them to a job site so that they can obtain employment. So we are here to serve. Absolutely.
I love that. How do I get a sign?
Look, what did I do, Christian? I literally called you, was like, where you at? We will meet you where
Yes,
you are.
she
So
did a drop off, honey, in my
a
yard.
drop off. Sure did. So feel free, if you don't mind, I can drop them off with Christian. I can get you 2 signs by Friday, and I can drop them off with her, and we can get it done. Absolutely.
Damn. Ashe. I love it. See, I
Yeah,
love
I love it.
energy because this is the kind of stuff I want to see more of. But I will,
Absolutely, and it's needed. It
yeah.
not only, as mentioned, it creates their future. Just imagine the space that's created for our minority youth. And as mentioned, we serve all youths, right? We serve all races. However, we do know that there are we are a vulnerable population, so we want to instill best practices and development and coaching in them early on so that they can be those future doctors. And it don't even have to be a future doctor or lawyer. They can create their own lawn care business and be the best lawn care business in the state of Kentucky, and be able to have multiple sites throughout the state and different sites throughout different states. We want them to be the best version of themselves. So we're here to start them off young, fresh, where their minds are open and they're willing to learn, and we'll make it happen for them.
Ashe. Thank you, Ladaya. I will pass it to my counterpart, Christian.
Oh, I was on mute. Sorry. Thank you. All right. And so that is great. Y'all know that Summer Works is family, honey. She is no stranger. I think this is your third time on our show. Yeah.
Yeah, second or third time, but we
Yeah.
be talking anyways,
Yeah. So Summer Works is
Absolutely.
definitely family. Y'all know Donnea and Madison from last year. They came in to be junior community outreach specialists with our pop. So we are definitely Team Summer Works, and Donnea is actually she's still on our team. So yeah, so we're definitely Team Summer Works over at our pop. And if you ride past our office at 1718 West Muhammad Ali, you will see there's Summer Works the things that you put out in the line, the little line signs. So make sure you guys hook up with Ladea. She can drop off to my house, and then I can hand them out to you also. Hit us up if you guys want to put that out in your
Absolutely.
yard. Yeah, because people could be driving down, and I believe in word of mouth. That's a form to me of word of mouth. Sitting stuff out in your yard, somebody gonna see it. Somebody who may need it. So thank you so much, Michaela and Ladea, for that. And now let's shift it over to our sis, Miss Dewana. How are you today, lovely?
First of all, I was on mute, and you would think after a year and a half that I would have it together, but I don't.
No.
Today is Wednesday, so it's hump day, and the week's almost over. So I'm good. I'm doing good. Yesterday was an emotional roller coaster for multiple reasons.
Yes.
But today is a new day, and we have nothing to lose but our chains. So,
That's right.
here we are.
That's right. And I'm so happy that you said that specifically. Because one thing that, because everybody knows that, or if you don't know, I know some people who are watching may not know exactly who we are. So Russell, a Place of Promise is an initiative under Cities United, and Cities United's main goal is to reduce the homicide against Black men and boys by the year of 2025 by 50%. And of course, that's creating safe, healthy, and hopeful, neighborhoods for our families begins with our men. So I'm happy you said it, and y'all just let that sit there. I'm gonna touch on that here in a little bit. So before I get into that, just let us know again who you are and what it is that you do. I know you wear many hats, so just
So, wow, who am I? That's a very interesting question because a lot of times, you know, Black women, especially when we are asked who we are, we automatically say what we do. And I am learning to separate the two because it helps me manage my cape. So, who I am a daughter of Christ. I am a big sister. I am a lover and a fighter. I will nuck if you buck in a heartbeat, but I will hug you right after I'm done. I am an accountability partner. I am a restorer. I am a solution. So I've learned to incorporate affirmations when people ask me who I am because who I am is not what I do. And those two are not interchangeable. They used to be and they can be. Like I am an educator. That is what I am passionate about. That is why God created me. That is the solution that I was created. That is the problem that I was created to solve in the education realm. However, I used to be like, oh, I'm a director and I'm an ACT, and I am all of those things, but that's not my identity. That's what I do. So I think that was important for me to say, to encourage other people who are watching and you all to know that you don't have to be what you do. Amen. So,
yes.
with that being said, what I do, I currently serve as the director of United Community for Metro United Way. United Community is dope. The entire city's about to be on it. Like, if I have it my way, it's gonna be lit. And so it is an online database system that essentially allows organizations to speak to each other online and refer the clients that they serve to services that they need in an expedited fashion. So imagine going to the NIA Center or to the L&M building or to Ujima or to, Mary Margaret or wherever your neighborhood place is, standing in line, waiting 3 hours just to hear that you got to wait 7.5 months to get whatever you needed that you were standing in line for because you needed it yesterday. What United Community does is it allows the organization, so you could go, if you go to your primary care physician or if you go to New Directions and you say, listen, I don't have lights, I don't have food, I don't have running water, I don't have roofing, my roof is falling apart. New Directions can log into United Community and essentially refer you to organizations that are on the organization that service those needs. And it's like a warm handoff. And so the client doesn't have to do anything but wait until they hear from the receiving organization, the organization that received the referral, and then they receive the services that way. And it can be done from the comfort of their home. We are working on some self-referral portals because we understand that the Black community, especially here in Louisville, does not trust a lot of the organizations for historic reasons that are very valid. So, being a Black woman with lived experience, I've been houseless, I've been hungry, I've had my lights turned off, I've had my car repossessed, I ain't gonna say locked up because it wasn't locked up, but I was in a holding cell, and to me that was enough. Like I didn't need nothing else. I didn't need nothing else after that chat. I was like, you know what? I got my wake up call. This is enough. I'm done because I'm bougie and I'm pretty and I just can't. So I was like, you know what? This is enough. But I do have the experience, and I was in there for an hour and a half, and it felt like eternity. And I was like, call my lawyer. Where are they at? Why is it taking them so long to get here? So essentially, United Community, my vision for United Community, and I've been in the role for 4 months, and I have been knocking stuff out of the park since
Yes.
I've been on board. But my vision is for it to really to be a no wrong doors method. So if you are a young girl who is stuck in human trafficking, and you can't find a way out, you should be able to go in the gas station because y'all done made a stop for snacks, and you can whisper to the employee that you in trouble, and she can log in to the computer on United
Yes.
Community, and somebody can meet you there and get you out of that situation and make sure you're safe, so that the perpetrator doesn't come back and get you or try to threaten you or your family or anything like that. So it really is building a holistic community just to make sure people are served the way that they deserve to be served. Outside of that, I am a college readiness advocate. I'm an advocate for post-secondary education options, not just your traditional four-year platform or pathway, but I'm also an advocate for trade. So get a certificate, you can get a diploma, and whatever, you can go to 2 year school. If you want to be an entrepreneur, like, I'm an advocate for all of those things. And so I really help people navigate when they graduate from high school what is the most feasible option that makes sense for them, for their family, and that they could, get the biggest return of investment on. And so I run a program called Aspire Academy, which is an after school college readiness program that I've been running for about 6 years now. Uh, and I do a various amount of things: ACT prep, scholarship workshops, FAFSA, how to write an essay, how to write your letters, how to get letters of recommendation, helping people increase their GPA, things of that nature. So that's more secondary. But once I finish my PhD program, because who didn't just get into
Yes.
a doctoral program
Yes.
for free? It's the free degree for me. I was awarded a
Yes.
fellowship, so I'll be
Yes.
attending UK on their dime. Hallelujah. So once I finish, I do plan to transition into running my program 100%, and that be, my livelihood. So
Yes.
that was a lot, I know. But that is what I do. I don't ask me how I find time, because I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
because the
think
sis be popping out, honey, looking good and everything in between all of that. So, one thing I did love what you first said about when I asked you who you are and what you do. I didn't even realize that I was doing that, but I said that in the context of what you did being who you are. So just thank you. Thank you for that change of mindset, or just inviting us to think differently when it comes to that. Because, yeah, yeah. And I think that is important with us talking about the youth, like so many young Black girls going through life. I'm just now like being able to define who I am, and I'll be 32 this year, and I can honestly say that that happened, I guess, when I turned 30. It was like I woke up and was like, okay,
that
this
light
is who
bulb
I
is
am.
real. No, the
Yeah,
light bulb,
yeah,
the light bulb is real. When you
yeah,
turn 30, you be like, you know what? I mean, it was extremely ratchet. Wow, Dewana, really?
yeah.
Yeah,
Because when you talk about the hotel was enough for you, I had to learn a couple times. Like I had to go back a couple times before I was like, you know what, this ain't the move. And yeah,
nah.
so
Mm-mm.
so yeah, I
That
think
one
that
time
that's
was
important.
enough.
Yeah, it ain't nothing. No, you don't see the time or nothing. It's not. Whew, Lord. But anyways, yeah, it's good for the children and for our youth to know, like, who you are is not what you do, because sometimes we don't even like what we do. I didn't like what I was doing a couple years ago, but so thank you for that little tidbit. Um, Another question I wanted to ask you, we got into a little conversation, and I've talked to you before about your personal story. You don't have to share that on this platform if you don't want to. But like I said before, Cities United is all about reducing that violence against Black men and boys, and creating safe, healthy, and hopeful neighborhoods for our children and families. And I love how you can authentically tell your story of how you came from this street life, living in where some people would say is an unsavory environment or whatever. Um, but you've been able to come up out of that, and about to become a doctor. Like, I love it. Like, I just can't get over it. Um, what advice or how what would you say is, I'm trying to get my question together. What would you say is your what was the breaking point for you? Was it a person? Was it somebody who came to you and was like, "Hey, there's a better life than this," or what? What happened within you other than that hour in the hotel cell that was like, you know what, I'm gonna change my life for the better, and then now you're actually advocating for the youth to do better. Um, that's a big part of creating safe, healthy, and hopeful neighborhoods is people who have come out to actually reach back. So can you give us like
Absolutely.
what was your turning point?
Absolutely. You know, that is a really great question. And I love questions like that because it just humbles me, you know, because sometimes you can get caught up in the accolades and accomplishments. And I will never forget where I came from. However, you can get caught up in elitism really, really easily. So I appreciate questions like this because it really does humble me. And to be honest, you know, I've always wanted to do something spectacular with my life. From a young age, so I'm the oldest of six, and I grew up in
Yes.
a single parent home. So I had a lot of responsibilities put on me at a very young age that I resented. I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't feel like I'm supposed to be doing this. Like, I'm 7. I'm not supposed to
Yeah.
be, you know, like I'm 7.
Yeah.
My mama had me in the kitchen at 9. Now that I'm grown, I'm thankful. Don't get it twisted. But I'm like, dang, I really didn't get a childhood. And you know, sidebar, people are asking me like, well, why don't you want to have kids? And I'm like, I didn't really get to enjoy growing up. So now that I'm grown, I'm going to enjoy my life. I feel like my siblings are my kids. I've raised them. They kids is my grandkids in my mind, even though they're my nieces and my nephews. So, you know, it's my body and I do what I want to do with it. Amen. But
Amen.
back to the question. So I've always known that I was different. I never really fit in. And honestly, you know, so I grew up in Beecher Terrace, and when you grow up, and I saw my mother working 2 to 3 jobs, she was never home. She was tired when she was home. And I didn't know how to say how I felt at that time. I just knew that I wanted to help. Like, nobody wants to see their mom go through that. And so being 14, I was too young to work. And so I made a decision based on the choices that were available to me.
Yeah.
And that speaks a lot about the access or the lack thereof. That speaks to the inequities of the types of neighborhoods that Black and Brown kids grow up in. That speaks to the disparities and the vulnerabilities that we are all advocating against through the platforms and programs that we work for, and the spaces that we hold, and the tables that we flip on a daily basis. And so I made the decision not because I wanted to live that lifestyle. I made the decision because I was tired of seeing my mother in the state that she was in. And I said that because 90% of the young people who we are reaching out to and trying to get them off the streets and out of their life have that same thought in the back of their head. And so when we are asking them to come off the streets, and when we are asking them to remove themselves from that lifestyle, basically what we're asking them to do is to give up their livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I appreciate Ladea and programs like Summer
Yes.
Works, because it gives them another option. Before Summer Works came along, there was no other option for young people. So it was like, you asked me to come off the streets. You asked me to stop doing sad activities to make this money, but you're not giving me another option. So no, I'm not leaving because it's helping. My mother's not stressed. She's back to working one job. I see her often. We wearing designer. You know, nobody's teasing us anymore about what we're wearing because it's not hand-me-downs. It's not fake Tommy from the Chinese store on 4th Street. You know, so it's like, you know, I made a decision based on the choices that were available to me. But I always knew what I was doing was wrong.
Yeah.
I knew what I was doing was wrong, but I couldn't get out of it because I was too successful at it. I became extremely successful at it. So then when I was 16 years old, my mother encouraged me to be in the Black Achievers program because she worked for the Chestnut Street YMCA in the daycare part, and that's how she found out about Black Achievers. And I grew up in the Y, so I was a Y baby from literally 6 weeks being at Children's Edition on up to CEP. So I said all of that to say, to get to the meat of your question, the statement is really, it was a combination of a few things. It was a person, two Black men. Thank God for Black men. Two
Yes.
Black men really stepped in and was like, and I don't want to take anything away from my mom because she was that constant voice. But we are women. We know. I saw
Yeah.
a post the other day. It wasn't the other day. It was recently that said, Black women love their sons and raise their daughters, and that was the realest thing I my life, because I'm like, yo, wow, that's really real. But at
Mhm.
any rate, I was just tired of hearing her voice. And so Dr. Eddie Woods, which is, we love him in this community. He is the leader of No More Red Dots, and Mr. Norman. So I knew Norman from, wreaking havoc at Baxter, and that's where he worked with Baxter Community Center. It's located in Beaches Terrace. And they knew what I was doing because of the work that they do. And they were like, we're going to take you to K-State. I had never been to a college campus before that moment.
Hmm.
And so they took me to K-State, and I'm 17. I had only been in Black Achievers for a short period of time, and I really didn't want to go. I just did it because my mama told me I had to, because I had one of them mamas where you gonna do what she say do as long as you're under
Yeah,
that roof.
that's right.
And so they took me to K-State, and I was like, where are we at? And why is all these Black people here, and what are they doing? And but they fine though, So
Yeah.
I'm being hot, I'm being hot in the pants. I'm like, going ding, 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 ding. What
Mhm.
is this? Where are we at? So they explained to me what it was, and I was like, yo, like what? Like Black people can go to college. So
Mhm.
because I was exposed to it, my mind just started. So graduated from Eastern High School in 2005, went to JCTC. It felt extremely remedial to me because I was in AP classes, which was an advocation from the second Black man, Dr. John Marshall, who is the Chief Diversity Officer for the NJCPS, but he was my English teacher at Eastern High School. He was also the AP that changed my life. I was in regular classes in high school, was suspended. I had 87 referrals my freshman year, and so I was
Oh,
suspended
wow.
for half the year, but scored distinguished on all of my CATS testing, and they couldn't figure out how because I was never in
Mhm.
the building. And so Mr.
Mhm.
Marshall advocated for me to be tested to be in the AP program because I was in regular classes at the time. So I would get done with my work in 15 minutes, and I'm 14. I don't know how to be quiet. I don't care about these white teachers telling me to sit down. I'm
Mhm.
bored. I don't have nothing to do.
Mhm.
So of course when I got an AP, when I got an AP classes, I'm working the whole class period because that's a different vigor of work. So at any rate, two Black men, Dr. Eddie Woods, Dr. John Marshall. And then when I got to college, I was still, dabbling in the street life. But it really became clear to me that it was time to get out when I started losing people around me. Like
Mhm.
people around me started being murdered, and I'm like, this is too close to home. And I just had this innate feeling that I was next for some reason. So I
Wow.
slowly started to remove myself from, what was going on. I was, facing some time in federal penitentiary for some of the things that I was doing. And, it all kind of just was like I was getting sign after sign after sign. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to stop doing this and I'm going to focus on that. Graduated college, and then really started to dig deep into, okay, so now that I'm on the other side, let me go back and reach back, because I know that 90% of the people that I was doing dirt with did not want to be doing what they were doing. But again, it goes back to that was the only option we had. That was the only option that was available to us. Like the streets was the only option in West Louisville. So programs like R Pop and Cities United, like I've known Anthony since NC3 days and
Yeah.
network change for community. Wait, network. It was network and then three.
Network Center for Community Change, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, being a power member, I still have my brown shirt with the, power
Yes.
member on the back, and meeting Ebony O'Ray and Cassandra Webb and Athena, a lot of
Yes.
those same people who are around Anthony to this
Mm-hmm.
day. So he was very loyal to that group of people because he took them to the mayor's office when he was there, Quaniqua,
Mm-hmm.
just the whole squad, and then to see, what they're doing now. So essentially, I'm grateful and I feel hopeful because I think people are starting to get it. It's still a lot of systemic issues and a lot of foundations that are rooted in racism. Let's just be honest. So, they throw these little $100,000 grants at us. It's dust to them, and it's pennies to them,
Mm-hmm.
but we take it because we need it. But essentially, that is why I am so passionate about reaching back. And I am very clear that me receiving the college degree literally changed my life because it gave me language. It gave me theory. I always knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what it was called. Like I was like, I know this ain't right, but I don't know how to verbalize what I'm feeling on the inside. My brain is going 50 miles and so college taught me how to think critically. It taught me how to develop a hypothesis. It taught me how to prove the hypothesis with research. It taught me how to create a thesis. I mean, it literally gave me the tools that I needed to be a well-rounded machine because I already had the lived experience.
Yeah.
Now I have the work experience. And now I have the education, which gave me the theory and the language. So I am a content expert in social services
Yes.
because of the life that I live and the life that I'm trying to prevent others from falling into.
That is awesome. That is amazing. Thank you so much for being open and sharing that. I appreciate you using our platform to do that. And I can honestly say like that, how you were talking about just reaching back and having people who saw what you were doing and knowing that you really didn't want to do it. I think that's the reason why like we advocate so much. Like I said, this is Ladea. She's been on here a couple times, but because our children just don't have nothing to do. Like we've had, when we grew up, we had the community centers, the Boys and Girls Clubs, and the Ys, and all of these different community activities. And I looked around now and I'm just like, there's really nothing like that going on for our children these days. And I had a conversation. We did Easter at the Square this year. I had a conversation with a young girl down there, and she had said somebody had said something about Newburgh, and I was like, "Who's from Newburgh?" And so then she was like, she said something along the lines of like she doesn't claim where she's from. She wasn't from here anyway, but she doesn't claim where she's from because nowadays they get you killed. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize that they were dealing with that type of stuff. And so we got into that prompted us to get into like a deeper conversation. And she just was like, well, it appears that I'm out here, or when people see me on the street, they think that I'm doing bad, but really I'm just walking around because I don't have anything to do. Like I'm walking to either meet my friends and then we're hanging out, because we don't have anywhere to go. And that really clicked to me. And so for me, it's like connecting them to a Dewana to help them get ready for college if that's what they choose. Connecting them to Ladea and Summer Works to say, hey, if you want to get out the streets to make you a little money, then here's an opportunity for you, to do dope work with dope organizations. So yeah, yeah, I just had to make that connection and bring that back in, especially bringing it back into the work that not only Cities United does with reducing that that goal that we have of reducing the violence of Black men and boys, but also with Play Cousins as well, because Play Cousins comes into the community and advocates for not just the children, but the family as a whole. And that Sankofa style learning and teaching, and, the whole, that's why I was like, yeah, we need to get hooked up with the drums, because that's, our children need to see that. They need to see these different aspects, that there is another way. That for me, it was like everybody was pushing school on me, but I that wasn't that wasn't me. Like I think that school is not for everybody. I'm all for education, but school is definitely not for everybody. Um so just like you said, and getting with people who can teach a trade or whatever, just basically getting connected with the children and seeing what they want. Because I think a lot of times
Absolutely.
children know what they want to be and they know who they are, and we talk them out of it because we're afraid of, they're going to make the same mistakes we made or what have you. So, thank you, ladies, so much for what you're doing, for being so passionate about it, for being so dope at it. Let me just add that, because you ladies just exude excellence and exude Black excellence. And I'm honored to even know you all. So, I just want you guys to know that it inspires me. Even at 32, I'll be getting inspired by even our young, like the Gen Z, honey, now be playing around. They inspire me so much.
Gen
Yeah.
Z is with the
The
stuff.
shits.
I be
Mm-hmm.
they are.
Yes, and you
I really
can't
be
put it
trying
no
to
other
watch
way.
my tongue, but Gen Z. Hey, so I had the opportunity before my current role. I worked at Bellarmine, and baby, let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
I as soon as I get my I can't wait. Like I love being around young people. Like
Mm-hmm.
they just give me so much energy. They're so creative. They're so innovative. They're so dope. They have so many solutions. And again, to your point, we try to water down their ability to think and to
Mm-hmm.
breathe and to invent because, oh, you young. But the
Mm-hmm.
Bible
Yes.
says that it will come through
Yes.
you, and because they are so innocent and they are objective and they aren't
Mm-hmm.
allowing this um let's just call it what it is, this Western European version of education
Mm-hmm.
infiltrate what their ancestors are telling them from the inside out. And they have the answers, they have the keys, they are the keys. And so that is why I am so like, put me in front of a group of kids and let me talk, because not thinking that I'm above and I'm a motivational speaker. I don't claim to be none of that. People say I don't care about none of that. I'm trying to get little Junebug them together. Like let them know, like, little bruh, little sis, it's okay. Like if you having sex, just make sure you pee out the sex so you don't get no UTI. And
And use
just
protection.
being
Yeah.
real. Like,
Yeah.
why are certain things such a taboo because of their age? Because honestly speaking, that's how you perpetuate trauma onto another generation. Just because we
Mm-hmm.
didn't get it don't mean they don't deserve it. And I'm gonna shut up
Yes.
Absolutely.
because I can be on my soapbox,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
like,
it's the truth. I mean, we are in a revolution, right? We are in a
Yes.
revolution, and things are not the same as it was even when I was growing up. I'm 35, about to be 36, and things are just not the same. I know I look good, don't
Yes, you do,
I?
girl.
Girl, going to say it. Going to
I
say it.
need
It's okay. It's
a realize.
okay.
Yes,
Many
come
many people
through.
don't. Many people don't. I get hollered at thinking I'm 25. I said yes, thank you, thank you.
yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. You
I
could
sure
take me
thought you
out.
was younger than me, Ladea. Girl,
Yes,
you look
yes,
good.
yes. You could take me out. Yes, yes. 25-year-old. But yes, I am single, just to put that out there. But
Hey.
but yes, I will say, because we need to allow our youth now to be creative, to flow. We want them to be safe, of course. We don't want them to make rash decisions, but we want them to be able to create, and to allow that energy to create something beautiful and worthwhile. And now that they have so many more resources that they have. When I was growing up, all we had was MySpace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when I started in high school, the internet just came out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
so they have so much more opportunity. So we don't want to stunt their growth. We want them to be safe, but yet creative. So Yes, I'm rooting for this generation. I think it's dope. I think they're going to do
Mhm.
some great things. I think we're going to have a lot of forerunners coming out, creating. I know, even with the vaccine, it was a young black man that spearheaded that. So
Mm.
I'm very thankful for those opportunities that we are allowed, and I hope that we
Yes.
compound on it.
Yes, me too. Because listen, we need it. It's time for a change. It's been time for a change. And I think sometimes we get, is it complacent? Is that the word I'm looking for? And
It's a
just
good
like,
word. Hmm.
this is how it's been. I really don't have any hope for it. It's easy for us to lose hope. I think the older we get, it's easy for you to lose hope, especially when you see, like, you know, for instance, Miss Rhonda Matthews, who's down at the protest, and she telling me, oh, we've been doing this since I was a kid, and I'm like, well, damn, when, or excuse me, when is this gonna change? Yeah. So with them, like you said, they haven't had a chance to have their vision clouded by too much. They're very objective, and they know what they want. They know what the truth is, and they're willing to fight for that truth. So
And I
I
love
just
the
love it.
fact, Dewana said a word that I use often, and that's exposure. You know,
Hmm.
when people have exposure, when they can see themselves in a space that they didn't know they could be in, oh my, all you have to do is show somebody a dream, a vision that they can do this, and they running it.
Yeah.
And so we are creating space, and as we create space for more of our brown and black babies to operate in, we're going to see some really amazing things, and I'm here for it. I'm here to mentor, coach, train what you need me to do. We go do this together.
Yes, that is amazing. So we've kind of moved off of our questions, and the one that we entering you into the space. That's how we do. Like at the end of the show, we kind of just have organic conversation and all of that. So this has been very enlightening. So now I just want to open up the floor for just a few minutes. If Michaela, if you have any random questions that have come up, or if you ladies, Dewana or Ladea, if y'all have questions for us or each other, now's the time to get that out. So we'll clear the air if anybody has anything else they want to touch on.
I'll just say it again. I've been saying it this whole episode, but I love the energy here. It's like just
Mhm.
full of ambition, black excellence, compassion. Like it it makes me happy, and I wish that, I mean, we probably did have this when I was coming up and I just wasn't aware about it. But like this, I am so excited for seeing the impact that all of us here are going to have on the next generation. Um, and what you said, Christian, we, all of us on this call are dope, like in our
I know
own
that's right.
way. So, and it just makes me so happy. I'm so happy to be with you, ladies.
I mean, I will say, when you get Delta women,
Hey,
we get it together. I mean, if you want something done right, get a Delta woman. I'm sorry for all the others,
oh,
but our
oh, our
22,
director is an AKA. No
but
disrespect. Hold on.
but our
And you know
22.
what? I love Cassandra. I
Both
Oh
of our
yes, me
directors,
too.
absolutely
look,
love
Cassandra and
Cassandra.
Kristen.
Oh
Kristen is
yeah.
Well,
an
you know,
AKA
Kristen is
too.
a
Cassandra's my
girl.
girl. Okay. Cassandra's my girl. I advocate for them
Love
always. I advocate for
Cassandra.
our pop and cities united. But I'm just
Yes.
gonna let y'all know, if you want some work done, Delta's the way to go. You know,
Listen. See,
our
it's the reason why.
22 didn't play. Okay. Don't make
The
me
reason
start
why
doing some
God told
chants
me,
in here,
look,
because I will.
yeah,
Listen,
he
and
said,
that's
look,
on Osceola, okay?
uh-uh, uh-uh. That's so funny because I always said that if I was going to pledge, it was either gonna be Delta or AKA. Yeah, I was against AKA at first because my mom had some issues when she was in college. She done beat the girl up, but yeah, so they kicked her off the line. So I had yeah. But I love the spirit in a fraternity and sorority for black people. Sometimes I don't understand it completely, but I'll be like, hey man, that's just not my ministry. That ain't for me to understand. But I do love the culture, and I love the connection and the, like you said, the exposure. Cause you just build a sisterhood. Y'all lifetime sisters. Like I was at an event the other day and last week, and there was some sorority sisters there, and it was somebody from across the room saying, yeah, I'm this, and the girl was like, hey, soror, and just ran over there. So like, I love it. I love the whole culture behind it. Like, I love it. I absolutely love it. So
Yeah,
does anybody
I
else have
took
Absolutely.
Delta, I just went over fall 2020, September 20th, 2020.
Oh, wait, really?
Mm-hmm. So I'm a Neo, yeah. So I'm not even a year in. And I will say, like, even during the pandemic, it was difficult. Oh my God. But when we came out on the other side of life, and I don't want to scare y'all. We are a
It is what
non-hazing
it is.
organization, amen. But
Amen. Let's put that out there. Yes. Non-hazing.
non-hazing organization.
They all say that though. They all say that. But
And
we've
it's
seen burning
true.
sands. No, I'm just
But it's true though.
But it's true.
But it's true, it's true. It's always
hey.
true. Cause the one, okay, it's true. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
But but I will say from day one, like, we had our first day out and we wearing letters. And I was literally, it's Deltas all over Louisville.
Yeah.
And then, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated is the only sorority in the state of Kentucky that has our own license plate.
Come on. And I got it.
And ever since I got my license plate, I'll literally be on the Gene Snyder and I hear beep, 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 and I look over and it's somebody, and I just be so hyped because it's like,
Yes.
I don't
No
know,
lies is told there. Because a soror was chase you down the highway like,
for real. Like
Yeah. I
yesterday,
see you,
yes,
sis.
yes,
Look.
yes.
yesterday there was this car that was following me and I kept turning. I'm like, a black woman was just killed. So I don't know who is this following me. And I get to the red, plus it's snowing, so I can barely see. I get to the red light, Sarah! I said my Sarah! And I'm looking at the window.
Look, we gonna stop traffic for that because we about to do the whole chant. Okay, don't start. Don't start.
Just the camaraderie. I can literally be anywhere in the world and somebody gonna see me in my letters and be like, hey Sarah, and then we say our little secret things to make sure it's legit because there are some perpetrators out here. But being in a Black Greek letter organization has truly been life-changing, and Delta aligned with my life perfectly when because I went to Spalding, so we didn't have Greek on the yard. And then I went to U of L for my master's. And at the time, there was no conversation about a line or anything like that. And I knew I was gonna make the line because I found out about the informational the night before. And so just how everything aligned and just how it was. I just knew. It's just you just
So it's a
know.
selection process to like no it can't just anybody join. You have to be
No, you
selected.
No,
have to
can't
go to
just anybody
Rush. There's
join.
a there's a
It is
whole
definitely a
process.
process.
There's a whole
Okay.
process, and you want to make sure that you stay on your P's and Q's. Since we're talking about testimony, let me go ahead and do mine because my mother
Yes.
is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Okay,
Oh, okay.
so when I was raised pink and green all the way. So when it came down to it, my auntie, Aunt Joanna Howard, is a soror, and she is on the charter line of Eta Zeta. So she was one of the members to bring it in at Western Kentucky University. I saw her be active as a Delta, but what really pulled me into Delta was a social justice piece. I
Mm.
know that since I am a legacy and a legacy to an AKA, I could be an AKA, but it was a social justice piece for me that really spoke to me like, oh, we doing this. Like this ain't a facade, and I'm not dissing all the others. Everyone has their own unique thing that they do, and it's all legit. I'm not going down anyone, but Delta for me was like, oh, I'm passionate about the social justice. I'm passionate about really feeding the homeless. When you visually see it, and once again, it goes back to that exposure piece. When you physically see Deltas feeding the homeless, we're like, oh, we doing this for real. Oh, okay. When you physically see them handing out supplies, oh, we doing this for real. And so that, once again, that aligned with my values and beliefs. And I tell you what, I'm DST till I die.
I know that's right.
Riding until the wheels fall off. I will
Yes.
show at 80 and be like, hey, okay. I still know my crossing song. Like
I
I'm
know that's
13
right.
years in the game. I just celebrated my Deltaversary last week. 13 years in
Hey,
the game. And let me
congrats.
tell you, like our crossing song, we still get hype. You know, like that's we made it, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we gonna
And I
ride it
think
to the
that's
wheels.
dope. That's dope to see on this platform again too, because these children is watching or these parents is watching. I think a lot of times it's we form opinions as a culture about things without being fully educated on the subject. I'm guilty of it myself. But there's it's goes both ways in regards to sorority. So thank you guys for giving us that piece, especially in regards to the social justice, because that's what we're all about. We're a social based initiative. I'm sorry. So yes, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Michaela, do
Anytime.
you have anything else?
Uh,
No?
nah.
And that's fine. We done some talking now. We done some talking even before we started recording. So that is
I do
completely
think it's
fine.
important. I didn't mean to cut you off. Were you
No, go
finished,
ahead.
sugar? Okay. I gotta make sure, I gotta. So I do think it's important for you all on the call right now and for those who will be watching. This literally just dropped in my spirit. So if I start crying, just
Listen, I'm gonna cry
just
with you, so don't worry about
roll with it.
it.
But I really think it's important for me in this moment to just say, I'm proud of you. Christian, I'm proud of you.
Thank
Ladea, I am
you.
proud of you. Michaela, I am proud of you. And everybody else watching this, I am so proud of you. You are worthy. You are right where you are supposed to be. Don't
Mm.
let time lie to you. You are right where you are supposed to be. Time is a social construct anyway. It doesn't
Girl.
even matter. Uh, Imposter syndrome has its way in the Black community, especially with Black women.
Oh,
And
she's
one of
preaching the word, y'all.
my
Yeah,
That's a
I
whole
done already
look.
started. You know, it
Listen,
don't take much
listen.
for
That's
me.
a whole word. Like, hold on.
one of my life purposes is to really deconstruct imposter syndrome by affirmation. And I think imposter syndrome is not because we don't think that we're worthy. It has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with the opinion of elite and privileged white people who don't think that we're qualified. And they project their insecurities on us because they know that we're the bomb. So when you historically, repetitively have somebody telling you that you aren't, you start to believe that you aren't, even though your spirit, your ancestors are screaming, yes, you absolutely are. And so we deal with this balance of, well, am I? Well, should I? What am I supposed to be doing? And so don't feel pressure to do anything but what you're doing. Remember, and I mean this, remember to say no with a period. You do not owe anybody an explanation for your no, and that's including toxic family members.
Mm-hmm.
Use your PTO days. That job is going to be there whether you're there or not. I don't care if you have 107 emails. If you have PTO and your employer does not offer mental health time, you use your PTO days, especially if you accrue them. And even if you don't, use a sick day because there are a lot of traumatic things happening right now, and you continuing to work with that on your mental is not good. Get a therapist. They are cheap. Your insurance covers them. Your employer has ask your employer about an EAP. Since we talking about, employment and we're talking about currency, there's no greater currency than your love for yourself. I don't care how much money you make. So I think it is very important to just remember that you are worth the boundary that you are about to set for your future. And if people aren't willing to come up to that standard, that means that they are not supposed to go. To hell with this toxic loyalty that tells us that we have to remain connected to people just because we've known them forever. And be okay with being by yourself for a season. It's going to be hard. It's going to feel lonely, and that's absolutely okay because the universe, God, Mother Nature, whoever you believe in, will bring people into your life that's going to pour into you. And let me say this, because I know as Black women, a lot of times we are convinced otherwise. But every one of you on this screen and everybody that's going to be watching, you are worthy to be loved. Stop pushing people away. Stop sabotaging relationships that are good because you're accustomed to what's not good. Stop trying to find the bad. Like, if it feels too good to be true, there's nothing mystic about being loved. It's going to feel too good to be true because it's never happened and we've been programmed to believe that we are not worthy of it, but you absolutely are. You are. Straighten up your crown and allow people to love you, allow people to do things for you. Don't push away the help that you know you need. Come down off of that high horse. I know the expectation for Black women is high. To hell with that. It's okay to live in luxury. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment and somebody comes clean for me twice a week. And I dare a nigga to say something. So I really just wanted to put those affirmations out here because a lot of times society tries to convince us that Black women don't support us and we don't support each other. And we are here, I am here to prove that to be a lie. Whatever you need, I don't care if you need groceries, I don't care if you need $10 to put in your tank, I don't care what you need. You call and you ask for what you need. Period. If you need a hug, if you need somebody to listen without saying anything back, you just need to get it out. You call your sisters because we are here for you, like for real, for real. We can do all these great things and go home and be contemplating suicide because we feel empty. That day has come to an end. We're going to work on ourselves from the inside out. Amen. All right.
And that was the benediction. I don't got nothing else to say after that because, yes, Michaela, I know that was for you, girl. I think part of it was for all of us, but just because of our relationship, receive that, please.
Oh my God.
Receive that. Receive that. Oh my God. We're going to end it here. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Miss Dewana. Thank you, beautiful Miss Ladea, for coming back. We're going to have Dewana back on as well. I'm loving this energy, like Michaela was saying. And y'all just stay tuned for next month's Bread and Butter. We'll be celebrating our anniversary.
Yeah.
1 year doing Bread and Butter. Yes. So everybody be on the lookout for our Ujamaa workbook. We have Ujamaa workbook coming out, collaboration between our pop and Play Cousins. It is an interactive workbook for the whole family, the entire family, to learn financial literacy together in a fun way, in an interactive way. We've got community partners who have brought their expertise to provide our content. So that's what next month's Bread and Butter is going to be all about, is a celebration of the release of that book, and then also celebrating a year of talking about cooperative economics through Bread and Butter. So you guys stay tuned. We'll give you guys a personal invite, Miss Ladea and Dewana. You get a personal invite to our gathering and our celebration. But the rest of y'all be on the lookout for the amazing things we got going on. Don't forget to follow us on social media. If you're not already, follow Play Cousins, follow Summer Works, get in touch with Metro United Way, and also with what Dewana's doing on her own. Just, all the things. But we want to thank you guys so much for continuing to tune in, and we will see you next month. So y'all have a great day.
Peace.